everyone, and welcome to Wrestling Perloozer weekend. As by ever, we're joined by Tim. Hi, Tim. How you doing, mate?
Good evening, boss. I'm not too bad, mate. Not too bad. Looking forward to the PLE.
So, like we said, this is the start of Wrestling Palooza weekend, so obviously we've got to do a prediction show. Full disclosure, we are recording this pre-SmackDown, so we're going with the information that we know at the moment, but obviously it's WWE and things are subject to change. So, Tim, you're the man with the matches. Have we got an announcement of what order the matches are yet, or are we just going to guess as we go through?
I don't think there's any announcers. I think, if we're honest, there are three matches that could actually headline it. But I think you and I both know what will be the headline.
Yep.
So why not? Let's jump in with the main event: John Cena versus Brock Lesnar.
Hello, Future Lee here. Just want to say, since recording this video, Pat McAfee has come out and announced that John Cena versus Brock Lesnar will be the first match on the card. So please ignore our match orders throughout this episode, but please come along for the predictions. Now let's get back to the show.
What's your thoughts?
Right, so I'm going to go one of two ways. I hope that John wins and it's done and then he can move on to finish off his 5 other dates. If Brock wins, then I can see this being a prolonged program, and this is not the way I want Cena's retirement tour to end. So I'm going for a Cena win. I think he's going to pull it out of the bag, but it's going to be a lot of Brock beatdown, and then we're going to get a big face comeback with Cena at the end, dropping in some AAs, dropping in some more tribute moves, and hopefully he gets the win over Brock.
So you want an Extreme Rules 2012 kind of match where Brock absolutely battered the living hell out of Cena, for Cena then to just sneak it at the end then?
Yeah, we might have a Ron Cena appearance that distracts Brock and Cena gets the quick win thanks to his younger older brother.
I don't think we're going to get that lucky. I think Brock wins. I think Cena's going to do the job for Brock, and I don't think this match is going to go on very long either. I would be surprised if we go more than 12 minutes after entrances. I'm not sure how Brock's looking. Cena has worked well with the last 2 matches that he had with Logan Paul and Cody Rhodes, but those are 2 very solid athletes. I don't think Brock's that guy. I think it's going to be lots of suplexes. I don't think John Cena's going to get the AA. And the reason I don't think John wins this match is because, as you and I have alluded to, he's currently on 99 PLE victories. I think they hold out his last victory to the last one he does.
Right, yeah, true. But what does a Cena rub do for Brock? Because Brock's an established star as it is, and Cena's on his way out. I don't see how giving, like, John doing the job for Brock and giving him the rub benefits anyone, really.
I don't think this match benefits either guy. You can't come out of it without it just being that. As for whether I think like it continues, possibly, maybe one more match at Madison Square Garden, which would give you the Cena win. But I don't see anything else. Nothing really. It doesn't benefit either guy, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think even with the heel turn, I think this is the first John Cena match on his retirement tour that I actually ain't really looking forward to.
Oh, I wasn't sure about the tag match that he and Logan Paul and Cody and Jay were involved with. That wasn't too bad. This might be all right. I think it's another story. Do you know, if the WWE could, they'd probably dig out Dave Bautista to finish it all off.
Moving on to what we predict the main event's going to be. What do we think is going to start the show?
I'm going to go with Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre for the undisputed WWE Championship. The build over this has been a little bit, I don't want to say wonky, but because of Cody's Street Fighter commitments, it's felt a little bit distant. It's almost been all on Drew to make this go through. And as I've said to you before, I don't think this is a one and done. I think we've got a story to go through for this.
Yeah, because of that, I actually think Drew's going to win this weekend because it's an ESPN channel. I think this is sort of this is the only title match they're doing, so I think they're going to do a title change. I think we're going to have a Randy interference. I don't know for which side, but I think that will then set up a triple threat in Australia. So I actually think Drew is actually going to win this one.
Yeah, this is where you and I are very different. I think this match is it's going to finish in a DQ. This is my thought. It's going to be in a DQ. I wonder whether Drew wins the match as a result of DQ, but the belt doesn't change hands. I can promise you that. I can't see it changing hands. If you go to Australia and you do a triple threat, there's a possibility where you change the belt, but I don't think you change it in Indianapolis.
I believe the opener's going to be. What other matches do we have?
So it's obviously only a 5-card match. And let's talk about the women's world title match between Io Sky and Stephanie Becker. What's your thoughts on this one?
Right, Stephanie's going to win due to the Asuka interference, which is going to set up the build-up for the match we're waiting for, Io and Asuka. I think that's the story that's going to come out of this title, which I do feel a bit sorry for Stephanie because she was meant to have the match with Naomi in Paris. It seems like it's been moved back burner, but I think the biggest story coming out of this is going to be Io Asuka.
I think so, but I think it's going to be an accidental interference that's going to cost her. What I do hope is they let these women have 20 minutes. This could literally steal the show, this match. Both these women are top tier stars. They deserve the time. All right, if we're going to have the Asuka ending, I'm with you. I think it's a bit sad for Stephanie Becker, but it sets up that match. And what we then do is we switch the belt from Stephanie to Asuka at War Games, and we go from that way.
No, I totally agree. Do you think Rhea's going to get involved as well?
No, I don't think she does. I don't think this happens. Maybe that's where your War Games match happens. We end up getting the Stephanie, Rhea, Asuka, Kairi Sane, and a couple of others. That might be the only way in which you get the women's War Games match through. But I want to be very careful with this. If we cook the story too much, a lot of women are going to be affected by this. I don't think there's a good enough push if we're not careful. What we need to remember is, at the moment, it feels like this belt is very cursed. It's a shame because this is the program I want to see.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I wasn't really on board with it at first, but as it's been building up, I'm actually quite excited to see. So hopefully we get it going this time.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think what we need to then discuss is the Vision versus the Usos, and who is the true tribal thief.
Right, I haven't discussed this with you this week for a reason. So I'm coming up this at left field. I don't know if we're in. So, obviously, it's been looking that they're about to turn Jay heel throughout this program. I actually think they're swerving us, and I actually think they're going to turn Jimmy heel, and Jimmy's going to join the Vision. And I think it's just based off of that little interaction last week when he said you're not wearing the Ulafala, and I think that was that little nudge that Jimmy's saying, well, actually, no, I'm turning my back on you. And I think the Vision need an extra member because without an extra member, they're just a tag team. And I know, obviously, Seth is the leader, but Seth's tied up in a program with Punk. And I think they need to add someone now. And I think it's going to be Jimmy. I think we're getting swerved here. And I think Jay's going to leave the massive baby face still. Going back to what you're saying about his merch sale, his crowd work with the Yeats, I don't think WWE can afford to have him heel at the moment. So I think we're getting swerved, and I think Jimmy's going to be heel by the end of the night.
You mean, as Vince Russo says, swerve, bro?
Exactly. I can't do a good Vince Russo, so I'm not even going to try. But I honestly think that's where we're heading.
Yeah, I'm totally disagreeing with you on this one. I think Jay is going to have his head wobbled. either from Jimmy or from a phone call from a local somebody to get his head wobbled. If you're talking about people that may join the division, you want a swerve, LA Knight.
Yeah.
This program
Could,
with Jimmy, or should I say, this program with Jay has gone backwards and forwards. And whatever happens, they're going to have a match. And it's going to be a big time match. Now, whilst we do a lot of face versus face, I see this as they're going to need to turn somebody. And as we've said, Jay's the big merchant seller. He will sell shirts off everybody. It makes sense that they've got, if they're turning somebody, it should be LA Knight.
yeah, because of obviously it being we know this was rustly put together for ESPN, and ESPN wanted a big moment. Because we had that little phone call segment, do you reckon that they could fly Roman in for one night and Roman make an appearance? Or do you think it's too wild of a theory?
I think it's a little bit wild. Um, I think he makes his appearance just before War Games. I think, and you build towards that. That's where we go. Um, and because of that and the way in which it's all going, I fancy Bron Breakker to continue his streak and pin one of the Usos for the victory.
Yeah, no, that's a good shout. So we're in agreement that someone's turning heel during this match and segment, but we're not in agreement with who.
I think it's a possibility with LA Knight. I think they will. I'm not sure whether it's this match, but I certainly see LA Knight possibly costing the Usos for the match.
Right, okay. And obviously, because we've mentioned division, should we talk about the intergender tag match between Becky Lynch and her hot husband, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk and AJ Lee?
Yeah, let's get on to the nitty gritty. The one that's doing the rounds. How big is this match? Well, you can say by the fact that we've had numbers go up after AJ Lee's appearance that this is definitely the one that people want to watch. This is great. I don't see how WWE lose booking this match, and I think as long as AJ Lee isn't the one eating the pin, I don't think it matters who wins at the moment.
I think they're doing this to set up a Becky AJ Lee story for the Intercontinental Belt. So I think towards the end of the match, Seth and Punk are going to end up brawling in the crowd or whatever, and AJ's going to pin Becky, which is then going to give AJ bragging rights to say she pinned the Intercontinental champ in that match. So why don't they run it for the Intercontinental belt? And I think that leads perfectly in there. We know that Seth and Punk are always going to have that battle about stopping each other, like Seth being champ and Punk not getting it over Seth's dead body. So we know that program's going to go off. So I think this match is mainly more to set up the storyline for the Intercontinental belt, and I think that's going to be between AJ and Becky. And whenever that happens, AJ's going to win the belt.
I'm with you right up until AJ winning the belt. I think AJ is going to pick up the pin against Becky. As I said to you, I think any of the other three people could do it as long as it's not AJ Lee eating the pin. I like the idea of them going off into the crowd. I think that's probably likely to happen. The dislike for each other will go far enough, and that's where it goes. I see that the case. If we don't do Roman Reigns at War Games, then it will be CM Punk's team taking on Seth Rollins, and that's just got violence written all over it.
No, 100%. Do you think as the sort of years gone on and how much interaction Punk and Seth have had with each other, that their animosity is slowly dwindling down? Because I feel like it's getting better and they seem more open to have a lot more in-ring work with each other, like promo-wise and stuff. I felt when Punk first returned, it was very sort of separated and they were on the brink of sort of working together. I feel like they're getting more intense working with each other, and I think it's bringing out great business. And I know they're both businessmen, but do you think, respect-wise, they're slowly starting to respect each other more?
It's CM Punk. His friends he can probably count on one hand.
Yeah.
I, I, I would imagine there is respect because you don't produce the performances that these two do without a level of respect. I wouldn't imagine they're on each other's Christmas card lists, but as I say, whatever they're doing is working. They're making matches go amazing.
And bringing in AJ and Becky into the mix as well. Do you think the AJ, obviously AJ's on a multi-time contract, but do you think it was the ESPN deal that sort of brought her back, or do you think they were just going to edge to bring her back no matter what?
Possibly the ESPN sped it up, but you could see the writing was on the wall, and this match was going to happen at some point. It is. There's part of me that is a little bit sad that they haven't put it off for WrestleMania.
So there is a couple of rumours floating about. So I've seen two. I've seen one that maybe The Rock's going to make an appearance. I don't know why, and I don't know what for or when. But if that does because it's on ESPN, and obviously they want to kick their PLE deal off with a big moment. And the second rumour is there might be a Tiffany, Jade, and Nia Jax triple threat put on the card that could happen on SmackDown. But we were talking off camera. We're a little bit confused about seeing this rumour because obviously we know from your NXT Homecoming review that Tiffy missed Homecoming because of a concussion. So how could she get on the card for this match? But this is a rumour that's floating about. What do you think of both of those rumours?
Okay, I'll do the Tiffany one first because this is the one probably I'm most interested with. After recording the NXT show, I then rewatched what is happened with her possible concussion. I'm going to say the words possible concussion. She obviously hits the moonsault, and because it's missed, she tries to stand, and as she stands, she then flips back, and the back of her head catches the ground, so you can see she's dazed. Then Jade puts her through the announce table almost immediately, so she's almost certainly going to be unwell. If by some miracle and she's all right to go, then I'm all right with that. But I'm really worried that they could push this too hard, and it will affect Tiffany in the long run. Let her, if she's got a concussion, please let's let her recover in a reasonable time.
And if that match was to go ahead, do you think they're keeping the belt on Tiffy, or do you think they will give it to Jade or Nia?
I think the belt goes to Jade, and I think what we do is we pin Nia to protect Tiffany.
Yeah, no, I agree. That sounds like a good. And obviously, like I said beforehand, rumours of The Rock. Is that could just be because it's a big show, and every time there's a big show, everyone always chucks The Rock's name about?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he turned up, but he wouldn't be the first name I'd think about. Um, he's obviously he's obviously getting in shape for his next film, and we've all seen the pictures. We've all seen how he looks. I think if you put him on television in his current state, there are a lot of people going to ask a lot of questions. So I don't think he'll be there.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I know, obviously, we usually do this after we've seen the show, but what are you predicting to be Tim's top match of the night?
I'm going to go with Io and Stephanie, and that's even after what will probably be a naff ending, but it'll outshine everything else.
Well, Tim, that was our predictions. If anyone agrees or disagrees with us, please let us know in the comments. Our review show will be coming out on Monday, so Tim, I look forward to catching up with you then and seeing who was right. But can I just remind you, I did call Dom right, so I'm feeling quite confident with my predictions.
Well, I'm actually thinking this is it's been a while since you and I did a predictions video together, so I'm feeling confident as well.
Well, we'll get our school pads out on Saturday, and we'll catch up Monday.
Yeah, I will see you on Monday, Lee. Take it easy.